Thanks, Nikki. Well, getting prepped for a very busy sporting weekend on all fronts, certainly on the youth side, as our rugby season is into its penultimate weekend now, with the Eastern and Western Cape being the busiest two provinces in terms of fixtures, at least. Dale College take on Hudson Park tomorrow afternoon, whilst Selborne College take on an unbeaten, or they look to continue their unbeaten run against teams from the province when they tackle a very strong Grey High School. It's going to be a tough ask. Then in the Western Cape, Sax, Rondebosch, Bishops and Wynberg all involved in their Triple Crown fixtures, with Paul Roos hosting a very tough Boland, Landbou and Stellenbosch. They've got a point to prove. And finally, Grey College's impressive season will go through another massive test this weekend when the boys from the Free State take on Maritzburg College of KZN. Some mouth-watering lineups. Good luck to all of our boys, and thank you for giving us such an awesome season. Now, I know one man who's been watching that season very closely, Volo, our sports producer. Welcome back, sir. Great to have you in ahead of, a scintillating weekend. Before we broach the Barclay Premiership, which is, of course, back in action this weekend, a quick rundown. Who do you think is going to finish top of our youth sporting lineup on the rugby front?
On the rugby front, I'd probably have to go with Grey Bloem. They've probably been the most impressive side. Other sides that have done really well are Selborne, Dale College, Paul Roos, but Grey Bloem has just been immense the entire season, besides a hiccup against Grey High School, which the guys in Port Elizabeth will be like, that wasn't a hiccup,
They'll say that for decades.
Yeah, they'll be saying that for decades, but yeah, they've been probably the best side in the country.
Yeah, no, it's been an awesome season thus far. Now, we are getting set after, I think, the World Cup staved off our hunger for football just a little bit, but we are desperate now for the English Premiership to get back into action, and so much has been happening off the fields in this transfer break. I think it is an opportunity for us now to catch up on exactly who's moved where, what are the biggest movements, who's made waves in your mind, who should we be looking out for?
Well, we can start off with, like, all top 5 teams have made moves in the transfer markets. I think the biggest move out of all of them would be Liverpool, but that's just to say the move was in the wrong direction. It was Luis Suarez leaving, £75 million, but he's left a massive, massive hole for the Liverpool team. We filled it with players like Ricky Lambert, which we actually haven't filled it. It hasn't stopped the gap.
Very little about him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. £4 million, and I mean, he's something like 32 years old right now, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just a market distinction. Yeah.
But essentially, I knew the minute that we sold Luis Suarez, you can't replace him without putting in a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, or, you know, the top tier striker. And Liverpool are going to struggle without Luis Suarez, but the other signings that they've made in defence should help them plug out the problems that they had last season. Yeah.
But I think they're just not going to have the kind of bank that they need to be able to buy a player of that stature.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've spent now up to, I think it's £90 million. Like, Liverpool had something like 50 million before Luis Suarez, the sale of Luis Suarez. So let's see what they do in the remainder of the transfer market.
Arsenal, they announced their season in fine style last weekend. What do you make of their new signings?
Arsenal haven't made too many signings, but they made a key signing with Alexis Sanchez, who should have been at Liverpool, I'm just saying. But yeah, no, Arsenal, I watched them against Manchester City. I was thoroughly impressed. It's very difficult for any team to dominate Manchester City, and Arsenal did it without even breaking a sweat. I don't know whether or not this current team that they've got will have what it takes to win the Premier League. They'll certainly challenge and they'll be up there. But in my mind, I think Arsenal still need an out-and-out central defensive midfielder just to protect that back four, because the back four is actually quite good, but without the protection it needs, it's always going to concede. And also looking at Alexis Sanchez, is a player that's going to create a lot of chances, going to be involved in a lot of the chances that are created for Arsenal. But is he that 30-plus goal scorer? I don't know.
And it's going to be a major adjustment for that squad working around him now, because it's going to bring on a very different tactical take. You mentioned Man City. I think what really stood them in good stead last season was the balance within that squad. They've got a bit of experience. They've got a lot of youthful exuberance. What do you make of their squad this season?
I say all hail Manchester City squad.
They've spent money in the right ways.
Yeah, geez, when you look at Manchester City's squad, it's just the most ridiculous thing. I saw a picture on the internet this past week where they put the 22 players in the squad on a soccer pitch. It took me a while to realize that this is the 11 versus 11, because they're two world-class teams, but these are guys that play against each other at training. What must happen?
So they're going to be a force.
Yeah, they're going to be such a force. And also, with Manchester City, it's so great for Pellegrini because in every single position he's got 2 world-class players, 1, and 2 tactically different players. So whenever, like, however he's looking to approach a game, he's got a great choice of players that he can just plug into those points. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to Pellegrini versus Van Gaal this season. I think that's going to be awesome, dude. Thank you so much for all of your input. I know we're going to have a lovely weekend, so soak up every minute of the football and enjoy it, bro.
Definitely.
All right, let us know where your allegiances lie. Who is going to take the English Premiership crown this coming season? It's going to be one of the most hotly contested in recent memory. Well, it is a Friday morning. You can tell by the crazy energy in the studio. Alada's got the latest. What's coming up next in the show, girl?